The news. Enugu government clarifies 100 billion naira pragmatic palm limited deal. Campaign against child abuse launched in Enugu. River levels rise in flood-hit Brazilian state. A very good evening to you and thanks for joining us on the news. My name is Martin Okeh. Please don't forget that you can join us on our social media handles on Facebook, ESBS Enugu, on Instagram, Enugu ESBS, and of course on X, ESBS Enugu. And you can join us on our YouTube channel at ESBS Enugu 042. The Enugu State government has provided clarifications on why it entered into a 100 billion naira deal with Pragmatic Palms Limited to revive United Palm Products Limited, a dormant asset owned by the state and established by the former Premier of Eastern Region, late Dr. Michael Obara. Reacting to a viral WhatsApp text that showed that Pragmatic Palm Limited, the company that signed the deal with the state government, was incorporated on May 6, 2024, with a deal made public by the state government on May 9, 2024. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Enugu State on External Relations, Okeh and stated that Enugu State government is not releasing 100 billion naira or any dime to Pragmatic Palms Limited. Instead, Pragmatic Palms Limited, a special purpose vehicle SPV for the partnership, will finance the revitalization of UPPL, refuting insinuations that it was unethical for the state government to enter into the deal with a newly incorporated company. And Ichuku, in a statement titled Facts of the 100 billion naira deal to revive moribund Enugu State United Palm Products Limited, noted that because several parties, investors are involved, it became imperative, as is the best international practice, to register a special purpose vehicle SPV as the platform to transact the deal. And Ichuku maintained that the interest of the state was protected. The Enugu State government had signed a 100 billion naira deal with Pragmatic Palms Limited to resuscitate the moribund United Palm Products Limited in Enugu State. The managing director and chief executive officer of the Pragmatic Palms Limited, Mr. George Wangu, palm products are in high demand, stressing that the United Palm Products Limited was capable of kickstarting the economic transformation of Enugu State. The United Palm Products Limited, 3 plantations in the state, are located in Ugwoba in Oji River local government area, Akwiye Omolokba in Ozowan, a local government area, and Ibiteolo in the Zago local government area.
Permit me to.
The Enugu State government has stated that its partnership with the federal government on cassava to bioethanol production was yielding the desired result, saying,
but Diamond Stripes has been one of the leading investors in private sector-led financing for infrastructure in Nigeria. We have been involved in some of the most critical projects in Nigeria. We are involved in Shiroro Power Station, 600 megawatts. We, at a point, North South Power Company, which started like this, Diamond Stripe started, it was responsible for 8% of the power generated in Nigeria. North South Power also owns 30 megawatts. Bara also owns the 20 megawatts solar power plant, the only one. We also the sole investors in Onitsha River Port. We came home to invest in Onitsha River Port. We also, in the agri sector alone, we also invested in Agro Universal. So Agro Universal is the largest owners of agro silos in Nigeria today. We realize the historical importance of this particular asset. You'll be wondering why Pragmatic Palm Products Limited. Michael Okeh was the brainchild. We realized that one of his key projects was the agric revolution in the eastern part of the country, and Enugu State, of course, is the capital of Eastern region.
The Enugu State government has stated its partnership with the federal government on cassava to bioethanol production was yielding the desired results, saying it was intensifying cassava cultivation in the state to boost the economy while helping to address unemployment and insecurity. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Agro-Industrialization made this known at Okpanku in Anunri local government area while conducting a federal government delegation on an inspection tour of cassava bioethanol project in Anunri, Isuzo, and Udi local government areas of the state during the weekend. Mr. Ubru informed the delegation comprising officials of the Federal Ministry of Budget, Economic and National Planning, the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC, and Prof. Ken Ife, the promoter of Biosources and Technology Limited, a private sector investor in cassava bioethanol production in the state, of the cultivation of over 1,000 hectares of cassava farms in the 3 council areas last year for the pilot phase of the cassava bioethanol project. Mr. Ubru said the state government was partnering the federal government to establish a military base in Isuzo, while it was also in the process of establishing the agro rangers, a security outfit that would ensure safety in the farmlands. Child abuse has been launched in Enugu State through the collaborative efforts of the Office of the First Lady of Enugu State and Costas Care Foundation in a unified effort to protect the vulnerable children of Enugu State. According to Dr. Mrs. Favor Ugwanyi, the initiative Mrs. Nkechi Nyerimba aims not only to raise awareness, but also to empower children with the tools to recognize and respond to abuse, educate educators, and engage broader community. The campaign, which was inaugurated recently, saw enthusiastic participation from students and educators alike in Enugu East local government area. Central School Emene and Community School Amoji were focal points of the initial phase, where students were educated on the intricacies of child abuse and equipped with strategies to combat it. The Enugu State government says it is determined to ensure a clean and hygienic environment to promoting health in the state. In this regard, government has announced that it has started enforcing the ban on indiscriminate and random dumping of refuse and disposal of unpacked wastes. Defaulters will be arrested and fined 50,000 naira. A special sanitation task force will patrol the state starting from Monday, May 13, 2024, to arrest offenders. Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress Enugu State Chapter today picketed the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC's) office and the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company (EEDC's) offices in line with the directives from the National Central Working Committee of NLC. NLC Enugu State Chairman Comrade Fabian Wibo and the TUC Enugu State Chairman Comrade Ben Asogwa, who led the exercise, said the Labour was no longer comfortable with the hike in electricity tariff. They said picketing of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and DISCO offices would continue nationwide until further notice. They expressed grievance over the unsteady power supply in some quarters of the state, believing that the exercise would yield positive results nationwide. This news broadcast is coming to you from the news service of Enugu State Broadcasting Service, transmitting on ETV Channel 50. When we are back, we bring you the detail of the news. 3-member Rivers House of Assembly screens confirms newly appointed Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. For detail and more, please stay tuned. Now we take you to the national scene, where we have a report that a faction of the Rivers State House of Assembly, loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, has screened and confirmed the senior advocate of Nigeria, Dagogo Iboroma, as commissioner designate. The screening was presided over by the factional speaker Victor Okojambo at the press unit of the government house in Port Harcourt, the state capital, on Monday. Iboroma was given a clean bill of health by the Fubara lawmakers after a brief screening, and he was confirmed as a member of the State Executive Council. His screening came following the resignation of the former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Zaccheaus Adango. Iboroma is designated to replace Adango, who was rejected for deployment to the Ministry of Special Duties Governor's Office by Fubara and consequently tendered his resignation. Fubara is expected to swear Iboroma in and officially assign his portfolio. Away from the national scene, now on the foreign scene, we have a report that Donald Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen is testifying at a New York court in the ex-president's historic hush money trial. Cohen alleges Trump told him to be prepared for a lot of women who could come forward when he entered the presidential race. Cohen paid porn star Stormy Daniels $130,000 to stay quiet before 2016 election about claims that she and Trump had sex in 2006. Trump is accused of trying to cover up the payments he made to reimburse Cohen by fraudulently recording them in his business records. Still on the foreign scene, river levels are on the rise again in the flood-stricken Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul after more heavy rains on the weekend. The Taquari and Kai rivers have burst their banks and are causing fresh flooding in the interior of the state. More than 500,000 people have been displaced from their homes and 145 are confirmed to have died in the floods. Now sports news. In our sports report today, Ange Postgelo will never understand any Tottenham fans wanting their own team to lose, even if it helped deny Arsenal the Premier League title. Spurs host Manchester City on Tuesday in a match which could prove crucial to the outcome of the title race. A win or draw for Tottenham against Rep Guardiola's side would put North London rivals Arsenal in pole position to finish ahead of defending champions City. The Gunners currently hold a 1-point advantage at the summit but have played a game more than City, who would return to top spot with victory at a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with one game remaining. And now to end the news, another look at the major stories. We already brought you a report that the Enugu State government has provided clarifications on why it entered into a 100 billion naira deal with Pragmatic Pumps Limited, has said the company will provide 60% of the total sum. A groundbreaking campaign against child abuse has been launched in Enugu State through the collaborative efforts of the Office of the First Lady of Enugu State and Costas Care Foundation in a unified effort to protect the vulnerable children of Enugu State. And finally, on the foreign scene, rivers level are on the rise again in the flood-stricken Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul after more heavy rains on the weekend. That was the news as edited by Judith Ohini and the production team. But before we go, don't forget to follow us on our Facebook at ESBS Enugu, and of course on Instagram Enugu ESBS, and on X ESBS Enugu, and you can join us on our YouTube channel at ESBS Enugu 042. My name is Martins. Okay, thanking you very much for being there.